السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله الذي جعل الشمس والقمر حسبانا والنجم والشجر يسجدان، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا وأعلانا وأولانا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Welcome to Quranic Arabic Academy, Arabic Grammar Made Easy, lesson number 2. As usual, we make the dua. ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين. ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين. ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد رسولا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد رسولا. In this lesson, we are going to understand the 4 properties of an ism. Which property we will be learning first? In the previous lesson, lesson number 1, we have learned kalima, the plural is kalimat. Kalimatun, a word, and kalimatun is the plural of kalima, words. So when you have an individual word, it is called kalima. And when we have more than 2 words, 3 or 4 in a sentence, those will be kalimat. In Arabic, we've learned there are 3 types of kalimat in Arabic. Kalima is of 3 types. Number 1 is ismun. Number 2, fi'lun. And number 3, harfun. We've learned the definition of ism. Ism is a name of a person, animal, place, things. Number 2, fi'lun. Fi'l is a verb. It gives the meaning of an action and also gives the meaning the past tense, present tense, and the future tense. Number 3, harfun. Harf is usually 1 or 2 letter word. It comes with ism and what comes with the fi'l to give us additional meaning. So these 3 kalimat is Arabic grammar. Once we know everything about ism, how ism works, once we know everything about fi'l, how fi'l works, once we know everything about harf, how harf works, then we know Arabic grammar. Maybe we wouldn't know everything at one go. Slowly, we build up whatever we have learned, we build on that. Now, today's lesson, we're going to start with ism. So from now on, we will learn everything about ism. Today, we will learn ism has 4 properties. And at the end, we will see which one we will learn first. An ism has 4 properties. The 4 properties of an ism are: number 1, الإعراب. الإعراب. Number 2, النوع. Number 3, العدد. And number 4, التعيين. The 4 properties of ism are: number 1, الإعراب, state or case. Number 2, النوع, gender. Number 3, العدد, number. Number 4, التعيين, definiteness. So when we see a kalima, an ism especially, when we see an ism, we need to see all these 4 do we find all these 4 in that ism. So every ism must have all these 4 once we see that ism in the sentence. Okay? When we see a word, we see an ism individual, that we don't need to look for this. But when we see the ism in a sentence, we need to look for all these 4 properties, or we can say 4 characteristics. So ism has 4 characteristics or properties. Number 1, at the moment, just learn the names. We will be doing these one by one, and we will explain and learn more in details one by one. So just now, learn the names. Number 1, الإعراب, state or case. Number 2, النوع, gender. In Arabic, every ism will have a gender. Number 3, العدد, we need to know the number. When we see a kalima, an ism, is it giving us one singular meaning? Or is it giving us dual meaning? Or is it giving us plural meaning? And number 4, ta'yin, definiteness. Is the ism in front of me in the sentence a definite ism? Or is it an indefinite ism? So once we know all these 4 properties, and once we become master of this, and inshallah we will be, so when we look at the sentence, automatically these will come automatically. We don't need to even think. It comes automatically once we are master of these, inshallah. Let's move on. Number 1, al-i'rab, the state. So there are, in Arabic, there are 3 states a noun can be in. Okay, a noun can be in 3 states. So let's learn those 3 states first. What are those 3 states? And they are halatul rafa, the state of rafa. Number 2, halatul nasb, the state of nasb. And number 3, halatul jar, the state of jar. Again, learn the names. Once we go more into our lessons, these things will become clear. Believe me, these things will become clear. We just need to learn the names and the terms at this moment. So, an ism can be in one of the 3 states. In Arabic grammar, there are 3 states. Number 1, halatul rafa. Number 2, halatul nasb. Number 3, halatul jar. This is the state. Okay. Now, al-i'rab again. Now this time is the case. In Arabic, there are 3 cases of a noun, of an ism. So ism will have one of the 3 cases. I'rab means the grammatical function of the ism in the sentence. Grammatically function in the sentence. If a noun or ism is in halatul rafa, it is called marfu'un. Number 2, if a noun is in halatul nasb, it is called mansubun. And number 3, if a noun is in halatul jar, it is called majrurun. I hope you understood difference between state and case. State, a ism can be in. So there are 3 states an ism can be in. Number 1, halatul rafa. Number 2, halatul nasb. Number 3, halatul jar. If an ism is in halatul jar, number 3 for example, that ism we call it majroor. And if the ism is in halatul nasb, that ism is called mansub. And if an ism is in halatul rafa, we call it what is called marfu'. So again, ism has three cases: marfu'un, mansubun, and majrurun. Again, learn the names. Don't worry. Everything will become clear later on. You just need to learn the names and the terms. So there are three cases of a noun. Number one, marfu'. Number two, mansub. Number three, majroor. Three cases of an ism. Number one, marfu'. Number two, mansub. Number three, majroor. Let's move on. The second property of ism is النوع, gender. So in Arabic, we have two gender. Number one is called مذكر, which is masculine noun. For example, man, رجل. So anything that is masculine, it can be human, it can be things. I will add another example. قلم. So قلم is a pen, it is masculine. كتاب is a masculine. And number two, مؤنث, feminine nouns. مؤنث, feminine noun, like woman, امرأة, امرأة. So مؤنث can be human, can be non-human. For example, جنة, it is a مؤنث. So gender is two types. Number one is مذكر. Number two is مؤنث. مذكر example رجل. مؤنث example امرأة. Again, these properties we will be doing in more details one by one. Today just the introduction of these four properties. Number three, العدد, number. So in number we have again three. Number one is مفرد, singular. Then مثنى, dual. Then جمع, plural. So ism can be mufrad, it will give us a singular meaning, like kitabun, a book. The ism can give us dual meaning, it is called muthanna. For example, kitabani, two books. Number three, jam'un, the ism will give us the plural meaning, like kutubun, books. So in English, we just have the singular and plural. In English, we don't have dual. In English, we just need to add the number two before the thing we say. But in Arabic, dual, especially for dual, it has another word for it. So in Arabic, we have three types of number. Number one, mufradun. Number two, muthanna, dual. And number three is jam'un, mufradun, singular. Any ism that is mufrad, it will give us a singular meaning, like kitabun, a book. Muthanna, dual, will give us the dual meaning, two meaning. In Arabic, we don't separate right two. We don't say ithnani. Sometimes we do, but there is no need. We'll talk about more in the later. Number three, jam'un, mufradun, muthanna, jam'un. Again, learn the names. And number four, التعيين, definiteness. Again, the ism, either it will be definite or the ism will be indefinite. If the ism is definite, it is called ma'rifatun. معرفة or معرفة definite. So معرفة isms referring to someone or something specific. Like example, I, specific, I'm talking about me, أنا. So this أنا, the word أنا ism is معرفة. Khalid, name of a person, specific person, not anyone. Khalid, a معرفة. The house, when we add the, that means I'm talking about specific about that house. So al-baytu, then my house, specific house that belongs to me, I'm talking about that. Bayti, I'm not talking about any house, specific house that belongs to me. Makkah or Makkatu, specific name of a town I'm talking about. I'm not talking any town. Okay? So ma'arifa referring to someone or something specific. Number 2, nakiratun or nakira, indefinite. Sometimes we use common nouns. So nakira will be common nouns or indefinite, referring to someone or something unspecific. It's common, any, like a man, rajulun, a house, baytun. So again, in ta'yin definiteness, there are two types of isms. One is ma'arifa, definite. Number 2, nakira, indefinite. Ma'arifa and nakira. Ma'arifa, definite nouns, and nakira, indefinite nouns, which is common nouns. One by one, we are going to learn each property one by one. By the end, we will have a full understanding of how ism, plural asma, how ism works. We will be learning the first property of an ism, which is al-i'rab, first. So once we learn i'rab, understand fully, then we will learn the number 2, the النوع, gender, then number 3, العدد, then number 4, التعيين. Okay, so what we have learned in this lesson today, that ism has 4 properties, 4 characteristics. Number 1, al-i'rab. Every ism will have i'rab. I'rab means, first is a state. In Arabic, there are 3 states an ism can be in. Number 1, halatul rafa. Number 2, halatul nasb. Number 3, halatul jar. Any ism that is in halatul rafa, it is called marfu'un. Any ism that is in halatul nasb, it is called mansubun. Any ism that is in halatul jar, it is called majrurun. Number 2 property of ism is an-naw'u, gender. In Arabic, every ism has 2 genders. Number 1, mudhakkarun, masculine noun. Number 2, muannathun, feminine nouns. Masculine noun means mudhakkar, and feminine noun in Arabic is muannath. Number 3 property of ism is al-adad, the number. Ism will give us a singular meaning, that is called mufradun. And ism will give us a dual meaning, that is called muthanna. And ism will give us plural meaning, that is called jam'un. So mufradun, muthanna, jam'un. And number 4 property of ism is at-ta'yin, definiteness. Ism either will be ma'rifa or it will be nakira. Ma'rifa is referring to someone or something specific, and nakira referring someone or something unspecific. So these are the 4 properties of ism. Memorize them, learn them, and inshallah we'll be talking about in more details one by one. So again, let's recap again quickly. 4 properties of ism. Number 1, الإعراب. Number 2, النوع. Number 3, العدد. And number 4, التعيين. So this is the end of lesson number 2. Inshallah we'll see you in the next lesson. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.